geez. Sorry, guys. You caught me in the wrong spot. Give me 1 second. Oh, geez. Now that is more like it, ladies and gentlemen. We are here live reporting from St. Louis Park, Minnesota. Just a stone's throw from Lake Bde-Madaska. Don't know how to say that shit yet. I don't know if anyone does. This is Minnesota Mike. This is a new channel. We're starting talking about some Minnesota Twins baseball here. All things Minnesota. But we're going to start with the bread and butter. I love my Twins. I know what I'm fucking talking about. I think sometimes people disagree. That's okay. I disagree with them sometimes too. We're talking Twins baseball. Twins signed Carlos Santana this week. Little 1 year, $5.6 million deal. Correct me if I'm wrong. But we're excited about this one, fellas. We've seen some pushback here. Kind of folks unsure about the direction of the Twins. They're under a little cap crunch here. Budget crunch with the new TV deal looming. I'm not going to sit here and say why or why not the Twins should be spending money, but they did. Let's analyze and see how I think Carlos Santana is a perfect fit for this org, at least for the 2024 season. And this page right here is probably the first piece of butter here that is leading some Twins fans or just some baseball fans in general to be skeptical of what Carlos Santana brings to the table this year. And I kind of want to go on the record. This isn't like a let's tap into a ceiling type thing. It's like we've got a 37, soon to be 38-year-old man, and let's see how this guy who spent a long time in a major league roster and clubhouse, let's see how he helps in a position that we really don't have a guy that is a first baseman. Funny part is that Carlos Santana was not a first baseman coming up in the league. This dude caught. We've got another Kyle Farmer on the team. We've got a fourth catcher now, folks. So just in case things get crazy this year, we won't be seeing any Ben Rortvedt or folks like that coming up, batting a buck, hitting with their tails. So should be all right. I know Carlos Santana is not going to catch a game for the Twins. They will bring somebody up. But I did want to, toss a little shade there. We're looking at a fucking spectacular fucking player. This guy made a career out of himself. Fucking sneaky 300 home run hitter. We see that shit right fucking here. 301 homers for Carlos Santana. Put that on your fucking immaculate grid. 54 stolen bases, man. We can gush all about this guy. That's good for 14 seasons? This guy's putting up I don't know the math, but 8 of these fuckers. Not even. 6 a year. That's something. But I'm looking at a 788 OPS. I mean, this guy's played over a career of a lot of different offensive, identities across the league. This guy was here in the 2019 season where we saw people putting up steroid-era numbers, and then we're back to 2021, 2022 when guys are, like I said about Rortvedt, no shade intended, hitting with their tails all year. So we're going to look and see what I see the positives in this, based off, what the dorks like to look at. That's Baseball Savant. I like it too. I'm a dork, but there's a thing called the eye test that is much better, and 9 times out of 10 these coaches, maybe not front office, but the people down on the field, the people down in spring training making these decisions, they're basing 99% of this shit off eye test. A lot of these stats just serve as either confirmation bias or dissenting bias to why you think that player is going to be good or not be good. So let's tell the tale here based off what we got. I'm going to take a look. Now, before we get started, let's take a chance to appreciate me. I'm just fucking kidding. Y'all didn't come here for me. Y'all motherfuckers came for Carlos motherfucking Santana. So let's take a look. I'm going to stay way down here. I'm a little guy compared to Carlos Santana. This guy played fucking 14 seasons of the big show. I played some D3 baseball across the river at Augsburg University. There's a little bit of a fucking difference, and I was paying to play. These motherfuckers paying this guy $5.8 million. So let's take a look. Obviously, people do not like blue. Low percentage point. I mean, the weighted on base percentage, weighted batting average, weighted slugging, that's all impressive to look at, and it means something. It means that maybe he's not getting same kind of hits the fall, not the same kind of power, same kind of velocity. Obviously, we see average exit velocity low, 39th percentile. That's not too far behind that league average, but obviously we're trying to see a higher percentage there. My biggest worry when I see a player, especially a corner infielder, this is a first baseman, we want to get some sort of offense out of this guy. And obviously he proved they could do that last year. 23 bombs, 132 hits, still slug 429. You're not going to get 40 bombs out of this guy, but what's he going to do? He's going to show up every single day. He's a smart player. He knows what pitchers are trying to do. He's been in this league a long time. As you see, his chase percentage, 78th percentile, with percentage, 68th percentile, K percentage, walk percentage. If you see red in K and walk, this is a mature hitter. This is a hitter that knows what is at least. I mean, pitchers always a step ahead, and with young hitters, sometimes the good pitchers are 2 steps ahead. This is a guy that's going to take half of that step away. Obviously, the pitcher's always going to have some sort of advantage. That's how baseball works. But this guy's smart, and he's not going to allow a pitcher to beat him. He's going to allow himself to beat him, or maybe his let's not say decaying, but slowing down physicality of his game. He's going to get on base. He's going to hit the ball, but obviously the sweet spot, hard hit, barrel, average exit velocity, just not there. I mean, this is a 38-year-old man. You guys got to remember that. This league's changing. But what are we getting? We're getting an intelligent guy on a relatively young team still. I mean, we've got Buck and Kep coming back. Polanco, a longest tenured Twin, coming up. We've got to have some sort of guy in the bench that can tell these guys, hey, let's slow down. And I understand Correa's great at that, but sometimes the star's got to be the star, and sometimes you need an old head in there, kind of just keeping everybody together. Some might say about Solano, guys like that, wish we had him back, but you don't really notice what the glue is until it's gone. And I think guys like Carlos Santana, Andrew McCutchen, older hitters that are just smart, know how to run their at-bats. Evan Longoria, I think those guys are a lot more valuable than maybe what their stats will say. They're going to teach a lot of guys what it is to be like a big leaguer for 14 seasons, but they're also intelligent at the plate. It's the same thing you saw with Nelson Cruz. I mean, late into his 40s, he was still hit. I mean, not late into his 40s, late into his 30s, he was still hitting the ball incredibly hard, incredibly far. But the difference was being able to recreate that swing, being smarter, taking away maybe that half step a pitcher has on you, just with intelligence, with experience. And that's one thing that I'm excited for Carlos Santana. The stats, all this shit, the blue, obviously that's not good, but we're not looking for a guy to fucking break out this year. That's what hopefully the guy he teaches something does. Your Jose Mirandas, your Nick Gordons, your Austin Martins, your Brooks, everyone that could possibly come up and play a part this year, especially in the infield, can learn a little bit from this guy. Kirilloff. I mean, this guy played 14 years in the bigs. Sometimes it's a little bit more than just hitting and fielding. Sometimes it's teaching guys how to eat right, how to stay healthy, how to spend your money right. I mean, this is just important things that allows your young players to tap into that can elongate their careers. I don't know how well Carlos Santana eats. I mean, he is 210 pounds. I'm sure he's got those ribeyes, those steaks rolling. But besides that, obviously the Twins wouldn't have signed him. Derek Falvey wouldn't have signed him. Thad Levine wouldn't have saw what he saw in him if they didn't think he was going to offer more than just simply what you see in a stat line. So I guess I'm going to take a look at his swing. Let's dig into the moneymaker. That's what kept this guy in the league for so long. Let's check it out. So we got a nice and easy Carlos Santana bomb queued up for you guys. First thing I like to look at is where's this pitch. I believe we got Ryan Yarbrough here. As we see, it looks like a 442-foot solo shot, Dodger Stadium. Let's check it out. Let's see what we got. So first off, I'm seeing this pitch. It's fading up and away. If it's up and away, maybe he wanted to miss out, but obviously he wasn't trying to miss over the plate, so odds are he's probably hitting a target there. Up and away is obviously a pitch a big league hitter is going to get excited about. That's something you can get extended on. But at the same time, this guy got extended and pulled this ball. So what's that telling me? One, he was sitting fastball. Two, he didn't let himself get out in front. And three, obviously, I mean, some hitters you'd see Joe probably sit on this ball, Joe Mauer sit on this ball probably as a left-handed hitter up and away, probably just paint this in between the third baseman and shortstop. Obviously, Carlos Santana hits a little bit different, but I see him get extended, and a lot of what I see is in preparation of the swing. If we go back here, I guess I might need the side-by-side clip, but his foot is pretty much already down before he even decides to make an additional movement. That shows that he's most likely set on that fastball, and you're not going to be able to exchange any sort of torque if you don't get that front foot placed and allow your hips just to explode. So what I see here is a combination of power and timing, and it might be a little easier said than done here for Carlos because he's facing a swift 88-mile-an-hour throwing Ryan Yarbrough, so the timing part might have been a little bit easier here. But what I see here is a hitch, and he's shifting power from one hip to the other through a leg kick to match up his timing. And when he hitches into that leg kick and he's all his weight's back on that back on his back heel / back hip here, when he propels it forward, he's going to put all that pressure straight into the ground, and that's when the weight transfer will happen and his back hip power right through. So he's got this massive leg kick, looks like a cricket thrower or something here. He's about to pick up. You see that hitch right there. Now this is where basically right here is when he's got maximum power. He looks like he's from the stretch about to throw a sweeper or slider, however you want to say it. He's about to pull all this weight down here, and once that foot hits the ground, that's when the cue is to fire straight up. So let's see how he does it. Now that ball is fucked. It might help that it was probably 87 miles an hour, and at Dodger Stadium, every home run feels a little bit better there. Get used to seeing those in the playoffs, Dodger fans. But what I see here is a polished swing. The good players and the older players, once they get to that point, it's a matter of timing. And the best players, they find a way to keep their body in shape. It's not about being the biggest, the strongest, the fastest. Those guys get their time and their place. But the guys that stick around, it's a high intelligence based on focus to skill, and as well as impressive timing and pitch. Snuffing out what pitch is going to come. A lot of what these guys are doing, that ball, 88 miles an hour is still a hard pitch to hit. These guys are, they have to guess for their own good. So seeing a guy, Carlos Santana, that's going to know when he sees a mistake and hit it is a big add for a Twins lineup. Obviously, that's our hitting philosophy. You know, you hear Royce Lewis say that, last year when he was hitting home runs on accident, that's kind of the hitting philosophy that he was doing on accident. Rocco, the Twins, they want to put mistakes out of the ballpark, and they do a good job of dispersing that power across the lineup. And I think Carlos Santana is a guy when you got maybe Correa, Buck, Julian hurt, or we see a big tune of injuries, we've got a second game of doubleheader. That's a guy that can fill in 3, 4, 5 if you need him to. Isn't going to hit the cover off the ball, but he's going to put up a good at bat pretty much a majority of the time. And when we've got our best guys in, especially facing a lefty, that guy's going to slot in 6, 7, 8 and provide you a good at bat. And he's going to be one of those guys that's going to bring you back to the top of your lineup. And a lot of teams focus on getting as good of a player as you can for your 1, 2, 3, 4 or 3, 4, 5, the Angels. And if you don't get good, savvy players that know how to hit in your back half of your lineup, good luck ever scoring runs. If you can't even get those guys over, if you can't get guys on base when that lineup turns over, offense might be a struggle and you guys might underperform. So I think what this means for the Twins is you get someone you can depend on until you can't, and it's a 1-year deal. And if you can't depend on him, oh well. This is money we got from the Mariners anyway. I think this is a good ad. It's never bad to add a smart player. It's never bad to add a guy that's played 14 years in the show. The only thing that Carlos Santana has to prove is why he either A, should still be in the league, or B, shouldn't be in the league. And if he shouldn't be in the league, there's nothing stopping any of the players underneath Carlos Santana from coming up and taking his job. That's the major leagues. This is the business. They're not going to just sit here and let this guy bat a $110 if he can't be in the league anymore for 160 games. So I'm excited about this. It has some implications on the roster. I'll get into that in a second. So, in my opinion, and I've seen some fellow Twins fans speak about who is affected the most by Carlos Santana's signing with the Twins, and I would agree with most of the people talking about it that it would be Jose Miranda. It does kind of create a hole for him. It does kind of create a situation for him. He's either going to go one way or the other here. But the biggest gripe that I saw with signing Carlos Santana is that it was going to put a stopping point to where Jose Miranda can go transactionally with the Twins. And I just don't see that the case. We're in Major League Baseball. It's one of the more fluid rosters in professional sports. Guys are bouncing up and down off the 40-man, out of the 40-man, sometimes added in, out. You see guys getting DFA'd 3 times a season or outrighted altogether. Shit happens. There's going to be injuries. It's Major League Baseball. Whether it's 10 games at a time, Jose Miranda is going to get an opportunity. And if this guy comes in and it was truly an injury hurting him all 2023, I have no reason to believe Jose Miranda, who was in even better shape last season, can bounce back. I mean, Carlos Santana is a 1-year deal. He's 38. Jose Miranda's 25. Had some difficulties last year. And we're talking on a team in a league where guys sometimes don't even figure it out until they're 30, especially looking at guys like Tommy Pham not even making it up to the league until 28 and then sticking around for another 10 years. Possible. I mean, not 10 years, but who knows how many at this point. So obviously I'm not ready to close the book on Jose Miranda, but what I am ready to open the book on is having depth at as many positions, if not all positions, for our 2024 roster as good as the Twins can, at least. And Carlos Santana filled a hole that the Twins genuinely did not have, and that's a genuine player that plays first base primarily. I'm a believer in Alex Kirilloff. I think he's a good hitter. I think he's definitely built to hit Major League Baseballs, but is he going to give you 120 games at first base? I don't think so. And I'm not asking Carlos Santana to go start every single day. I don't need to give him every at-bat against right-handed pitchers. But what I do need is a guy that you can play at first base that knows how to. And it shouldn't be that crazy, but it's really that simple. And I think there's still a lot to look at with the latter Jose Miranda. I mean, I'm not going to show his 2023 Savant page. That ain't fun. But his batting run value, that without any sort of second look, is an above average hitter that, if you guys don't forget, spent his first 60 days in the show batting like a $120 and still managed to have a year he had in 2022. I mean, I look at Jose Miranda as a guy that's hit home runs across the board, 15 bombs in 2022, 444 at bats. I mean, 3 homers. I'm not expecting him to hit 35 bombs. He might one day, but 3 homers, 303 slugging is not Jose Miranda. Based off what we saw the year before, the hot streak he went on in the end of 2022, I think we all know that we can get more out of Jose Miranda. That's not the player he is. It's just, where does he sort into all of this? I mean, we've got Nick Gordon out of options. Jose Miranda's got options. Larnach's got options. You might see these guys down after spring training if they don't just absolutely rip the cover off the ball. But is Jose Miranda going to play for the 2024 Twins? You've got a resounding yes. Is he going to stay there? That's up to him. But I'm not ready to close the book on Jose. I think he's, as a player, could be very much a regular everyday starter. And at the very least, we're going to have DH opportunities to go around. So Jose Miranda, still excited about him, but at the very least, I'm excited about adding Carlos Santana to the fold. We got a one-time All-Star. It's always good to add an All-Star, man. I don't care how you put it. We've got 2.7 WAR coming off last year, another 23 bombs. I'm excited about it. 86 RBIs. It's a dead stat, but it also ain't, man. You put a run batted in is closer to a win. So I like what we got. I'm excited for the Twins. Hopefully we can go out, maybe get a reliable backup center fielder. But besides that, I like where the Twins are at. If we're going to add more, we're going to add more. But I still think this is a team that I would soundly bet my money to win the AL Central this year, and I think they might have it in the bag for a while. So don't get me wrong. I was with the crew 10 years ago that was saying that this is going to be the year, hot take, the Tigers are going to win the division. We've been saying that since, 2017? It ain't happening this year. It happened after they signed Baez, happened after they got Meadows. After how many times we're going to say it? It ain't happening. This is the Twins division to lose. Cleveland's the only team that's going to possibly compete just because of that organization's willingness to be scrappy and find ways to win. But besides that, as a Twins fan, I am not the least threatened by the Detroit Tigers, not the least threatened about the Chicago White Sox, and not the least threatened about the Kansas City Royals. I am threatened by Bobby Witt Jr. I think he's probably already a top 5 shortstop in this game, if not top 2, top 3. That guy's going to be scary in this division for a long time. The only thing that could be worse is if Witt was a White Sox or a Yankee. But besides that, Twins are looking good. I like where we're at. Going to be finding some wins and hopefully a ring come November. This is Minnesota Mike checking off. Welcome to Minnesota, Carlos Santana.